Hello, thank you for tuning into this week's reads. This is James13 Wicca on YouTube, just in case you're wondering where the video came from. The main part of the read, I'm going to use the Thelema Tarot. And where's the name? I thought there was a name created on here. Just completely blanked. Renata Lechner. It's on here on this side, I believe. And if you want to find this deck, there's the website loscarabeo.com, loscarabeo.com. Feel free to check that out if you're interested. For the tarot, for the oracle cards, magical spell cards by Lucy Cavendish, illustrated by Jesse Reish, and at the bottom there's hayhouse.com. Feel free to check that out if you're interested. And I use dice. I use a 21-sided dice, which does omit the 0, but that's what I use for the major arcana. I use a 14-sided dice for the minor arcana, and a 4-sided dice to pick the suit. I want to say that the bigger dice came with this. Tom Anders, hopefully it's there. I want to say it's impactminiatures.com. There's this on the back too, if that's easier for you to use. Feel free to use that. And for the smaller dice, the 14-sided one, it's Math Art Fun, if I can get this behind there. mathartfun.com, if you're interested to find that. And the little pink one I use is, I think it's from Amazon. I've had it for years. Alright, so that's what we have for that. Of course, if you'd like a reading from me, shoot me an email, jamesforastral@gmail.com. That's James the number 4, astral@gmail.com. If you're interested in the donation information, that's below, same email. Thank you for watching, and now on to your read. Hello, Virgo. Thank you very much for tuning in to this week's read. These readings are valid for when you come to them. That being said, what do we have for Virgo? Well, I don't see really bad things going on. I do see stress, which I'm questioning what the stress is about. It's quite prominent. It's kind of like, what do we need to do? It's something else. It's somebody else. Somebody else. Let's go a little farther, because I feel like I'm getting ahead of myself. Let's do this in order. It's going to work out better that way. Now, somebody else is going through something. I feel a little pointed on this one. Whatever they're going through, they may have more of a hand in that than you realize. Yeah, the Sun card came up upside down, like something's working out for the betterment. It just may not seem it. 4 of Wands, that's kind of like a contract. It's almost like fulfilling a contract here. Somebody's going through something. And the Sun card reverse is telling me it may not look enjoyable or good, but it actually is. The stress that you're feeling is actually something that's helping you see this in a different light. I don't know what's going on. Take it with a grain of salt, but whatever's going on here is creating an evolution in this other person, because I keep feeling this other person going through something. And it definitely seems to be affecting you very heavily, but it also seems to be bringing you something of healing. You've got both healing cards. You got this one in the Oracle deck. You got the other one, like deeper healing, possibly showing up later, which we'll get to in a minute. There's like this contract energy going on. With that 4 of Wands, contract in the sense of like, this person may have more to do with their downfall than you realize. Something isn't right here. I almost feel like there's an extra level here. It's not like saying, for example, if this is about a medical thing, it's not saying people deserve to be sick. It's not saying that. But there may be behaviors or something going on here that's promoting that or has been neglected. Could be something that's been neglected for a while, maybe a couple years. This didn't have to be this bad, but, when you neglect something, there's always fallout for that. It's a general read. Take it with a grain of salt. Doesn't mean that that's exactly what's happening, but, I'm just going with the energy. I mean, sometimes I have to point out that I wouldn't know these people if I tripped over them. This is an intuitive reading. It's a general reading. There's a lot going on around you. And that person is somebody around you is going through like this really difficult time. This isn't something we should rejoice in, obviously, but there's opportunities for things to go better, but it's also something that they have to own that. They have to own that. And they might be hiding something about this situation too. There might be a lot of levels, and you may not be realizing that there's more here that they're not bringing forward, that they either could be doing or have done that is participating into this. So, like, it's not like we want to blame anybody, or it's not like we want to, like, shrug something off. We don't want to do that either. But they're saying realize that there's an evolution going on here, because I'm getting the you want to help. You want to help, but you can't. You would put in the effort, you would do whatever you need to do, but what they're saying is while this is happening, there's other things for you to do with your life that can actually improve your energy, and then maybe later you will come back around and you will be able to connect with this a little better. But while this is going on, while you can't do anything, where there's just nothing for you to physically do or really heal the situation, there's things you can do for yourself to keep your energy and strengthen your energy, so that way if that moment does occur, you'll be ready. Can we show... This is in the past. Whatever the situation is, it's been going on for a while. There has been a chance to do better in the past. I feel like there's been the lack of connection with it. I'm really cringing at this, but I'll give this example because I'm getting that. I constantly keep getting it, so I will give this example. So for example, if somebody had some issues or they had some lumps on their body and they didn't want to deal with it and they just wanted to pretend it wasn't anything, or they were nervous about it and it went on, and it's kind of like, oh, it's been the same, these bumps showed up but they've been the same size for a few months, so I just kind of thought they'd go away, or even longer. This isn't new is what I'm getting. Something showed up pretty quickly. When it showed up, it should have been dealt with. Even if it's like somebody waited for like a month, after a month of it not going away, they should have kind of had it checked out. Should have kind of. It's not blaming anybody, but it's saying the lesson from this is kind of like the sooner you deal with it, the better the outcome. This doesn't have to be a medical thing. I was cringing at that example, but it could be something else where maybe it's a behavioral thing. Somebody was doing something and they were making bad choices, or they were doing something a little less than ideal. There was a point earlier on where they could have nipped this in the bud, shut it down, and it wouldn't have ended up where it is today. It would have had to be dealt with either way. It's just by avoiding it and not dealing with it, it just got more strength and got worse. It doesn't mean it's going to bring down the house either. Let's keep that in mind. Again, this isn't a blaming thing. It kind of bothers me because I don't want it to come across that way. It's like a learning moment in the sense of like certain things are not going to go away. And a lot of these things, the sooner we handle it, the sooner we can move on from it, the better chance it can go the way we want versus the way we're stuck with sometimes. Okay. I do feel like there's a lot of communication between you and whoever this person is, but I also see that they're not, I don't think they're telling you things. So there's a lot missing, because I get this 9 of Cups over here. It feels like somebody's just not really engaging with you. You may have a lot of information, or you may have a lot of things you could possibly do, but if they're not willing to tell you things, or if they're just kind of like telling you what they feel like they have to, and omitting, how do you say this? It's kind of like, omitting the important stuff, like selective sharing of information. Like it's kind of like omission of the truth is still a lie. It's in that category. Like they're not telling you things purposely because they don't want to, and they want you to be happy with them. I'm also getting there's like a facade here of like letting you see what they think you want to see, or like playing it a certain way that's not giving you the correct information. And until they do come forward with that information, there's not a lot you can do. I think that's another reason they're saying kind of like, make sure you show that you care, because this is somebody I feel like you definitely care about, otherwise it wouldn't matter. Show that you care, but like be careful how much you share information-wise. Ask questions, and if they don't seem very responsive, or they're kind of lagging, or they seem to be hemming and hawing or going in circles, realize that they're not in a place to share that information. And just step back and kind of like, all right, I guess I have to wait for them to be ready. I don't really like that idea, but it's kind of like, this is kind of how this has to go. Because it's like, this means a lot to you. That's, again, why I feel like you're blocked. You really do care, but the information seems to be blocked. That might be another version of that or another level of that, why you can't seem to be doing anything that could really help the situation. But you have your moment in the future. You have this opportunity for success here. It's coming forward, and I feel like what we're saying here, because I'm seeing the Nine of Cups here, when this opportunity comes forward, you seem to have a lot of ability to make things go better. All right, that's how it's coming through. I mean, I'm not going to edit it. It's just, you have an opportunity to really move things forward and help in a very grand way. Be careful when that moment happens, which how are you going to know? But we'll get to that. Be careful not to match the energy of kind of like, okay, they seem to not be sharing information, so I guess I'll just let that be. You actually don't want to share that. You don't want to match that energy in the future. Currently, it's kind of like realizing they're doing it and kind of like, all right, I guess I'll wait. In the future, though, like, how are you supposed to know? How are you supposed to know to do when to do that and when not to do that? That seems a little complicated, doesn't it? They'll be kind of giving in. They'll start telling you more about what's going wrong. It is asking questions later. It's like this is like something about they're going to need your help and they're going to be asking for your help. When they're asking for your help, asking the right questions and they letting them know like there's probably a lot here I can do for you, but if you don't share with me, like if you don't tell me you need a ride to the store to get your medication, I'm not going to, what am I supposed to do? Just hover around your house and wait for you to step out the door and pounce on you? Where are you going? Do you need some help? Like, what do you want me to do? Like, really, what do you want me to do? Kind of like bringing that home, like, do you want me to stalk you to see if you need something? Like, what do you expect me to do? First of all, I don't have the energy to do that. Second of all, I'm just literally not going to do that. But like maybe bringing that home at the appropriate time when they start sort of asking for help and just like highlighting to them, I can probably do a lot for you, and I would love to do so, but like literally, do you want me to stalk you? I'm not. I don't have the energy for it, and I'm literally not. But like, you want things to go better? I want things to go better for you. Work with me on this. There's an appropriate moment, and I feel like it's when they're asking you for help, and I feel like they're hitting this devastation moment. They're just like, it feels like I can't get out from under this Ten of Swords. It shows up again in the future. And they start to be, like, once you make that point with them, I feel like things open up a lot better. I feel like they realize, like, they're at this point, the devil shows up over here for them, too. They're looking for answers that they're not finding, and they're more open to it. And it's kind of like, let me help you. Talk with me. Tell me what's going on. It does seem like it's complicated to know when that moment comes in, but it's almost like at first blush, you realize that they're running around in circles and they're trying to do it on their own. I feel like that's the time, all right, let them do it on their own. But when they start getting to the point, like, I don't even know what to do, I don't know how to fix this, and they're asking you for help again, and you realize when you start asking them questions, they start running around in circles, that's the point where it's kind of like, listen, I want to help you. Do you want me to help you? I want to help you. Do you want me to help you? Like, and just putting it right there, like that. Your bond is really strong with this person, too. I don't know, there's just this weird energy where I feel like they might have a control issue. They might have a control issue where they want to pretend like they're still in control of this situation and they don't want to depend on other people. This is one of those times where that's not really the option if there's going to be success. They have to kind of bring down those walls and they have to trust you a bit. You are a very trustable person, but I feel like it might be like a control thing. Like certain people grow up or they, over time, when they trust other people, it's always backlashed against them, or most of the time backlashed against them. So they've learned to not trust. They've learned to be only, dependent on themselves. So when they have to kind of let down that wall and let somebody else help them and give that trust over, give some of that independence up, it can be very hard. But you are a trustworthy person, and Virgo, in my opinion, is extremely dependable. Especially if you have the pattern down and people don't get in your way and they let you do your pattern, extremely dependable. I feel like they're going to hold to that and they're going to realize. And this is something you want. You got more healing. This is the second healing card I was talking about. The bond. This to me feels like unconditional love. Whoever this person is, no matter what type of relationship it is, it could be a romantic partner. It could be a sibling, could be a parent, could be any type of family relation, could be a friend, as long as it's one of those that you feel really close to, that this is somebody who means a lot to you. But it feels very much like unconditional love. And it might be one of those things where you're teaching this person what that unconditional love really does mean and how much that really does fit the connection you have with them. This is one of those reasons why this might be one of those things that brings a lot of growth, a lot more of happiness down the road than previously expected. It might take this moment for them to bring down those walls and really have that chance to trust people again, because kind of they have no other choice but to try. And by putting their faith in you, it's a good bet. It's a good bet. I do feel like as this keeps going, this person is going to share with you some of their trust issues and why they have it with other people. Be careful not to play into it too much. Acknowledge it, and if necessary, remind this person that that's a different person from you. Like, not like just every now and then, like, you don't want to be not monotonous with it, but every now and then you might want to just remind them, like, yeah, if somebody treated me that way, I wouldn't blame you. I'd feel the same way. Thankfully, you know, we're totally different people from the person who did that to you. Something in that realm. Like, we don't want to like get right in their face and be like, listen, I'm not that person. We want to be careful about that, but more like, yeah, thankfully neither of us are like that person, so that way we don't have to worry about that now. Stuff like that. There's more coming out of this. There's a stronger bond coming in with this person, probably stronger than you were expecting. This person might really let down their walls, and when they do, I feel like this is one of those people that they have your back no matter what. Especially because I get the chariot in there. The chariot in there, it's kind of like, be aware of it. This person might just follow you without question down, like you want something, or if you say you don't like somebody, if you don't like somebody, then they don't like that person. Like, it might be like that type of thing. Be aware of that. Keep that under control. We don't want that actually happening, because I get like a deeper connection, a whole new phase of life coming in with you and this person, no matter what connection it may be. We just want to be aware of it, like, because I feel like once you've gained their trust, it's kind of like feast or famine. It's like they have a hard time giving it. They have to let down that wall. You're there for them, and then all of a sudden, it's like no matter what you do, you're gold. You can't do. Your feet never touch the ground. You're completely awesome. Just be aware of it, because that can be its own problem. Just be aware of it, and every now and then, just remind them. You know, I walk on water like everybody else. No, I walk on the ground like everybody else. Just whatever you need to do. Because that can be a different type of problem that we don't need that either. Anything else here? Okay. I'm going to shut this down here. I hope that helps. Thank you for watching. If you'd like a direct reading from me, shoot me an email, jamesforastral@gmail.com. That's James, the number 4, astral@gmail.com. If you're interested in the donation information, that's below, same email. Thank you very much for watching, and have a great day.